Well, it's always a pleasure to see Mariner faithful on the road, and today here in Detroit, the opener of a 3-game series here in downtown Detroit at Comerica Park as we welcome you to Mariner baseball. And just seconds ago, the Detroit Tigers taking the field. Jordan Zimmermann leading the way out. Jordan Zimmermann with a 1-1 record of 5.94 ERA. Let's take a look at the lineup that the Mariners will present against him for tonight.
Well, it's great to see Gene Segura back in the lineup, active from the disabled list. You can see his last game was on the 10th of April, so nice to have him back with the club. Nelson Cruz has been hot lately at 5 RBIs in the game on Sunday. Taylor Motter leads the club with 5 home runs. He will hit 5th in the lineup, and Dyson will move from leadoff to the number 9 spot for Zimmermann on the year. This will be his 4th-start, 1-1 record, a 5.94 ERA. He's had some issues this year. You see 7 walks and 16 2/3. Opponents hitting .281. He's given up 1 home run this year. And look at the defense. You have Tyler Collins in center field. Andrew Romine is at shortstop. Alex Avila will be at first base.
Oh,
that didn't take any time at all, did it?
It sure didn't. Welcome back, Gene Segura. Boy, he was psyched this afternoon. Saw him in the clubhouse. Big smile. Welcome back, my man. First pitch.
Well, he's an aggressive hitter, again, leading the National League in hits last year, and he gets a fastball right in the middle of the plate and hits it hard into left field.
Mariners 1-3 in this current road trip. 3 here in Detroit, 3 in Cleveland. Here's Mitch Haniger. Sensational start for this young man. Leads the team in runs, hits, doubles, homers, RBIs, and batting average. Looks at ball 1. Home plate umpire today, the Cowboy himself, the country singer, Joe West. Hunter Wondestad at first, Eddie Fletcher at second, Ramon DeJesus at third. Haniger 3 for 4 with 3 runs scored in the Mariners' Sunday win, 11-1 at Oakland. Not much of a lead by Segura.
For Zimmermann, his fastball at 92 miles an hour. He has a slider and a curve combination. This year, not as many sliders from him, throwing the curveball a little bit more.
Zimmermann set. Not much of a lead by Segura. And there's a strike to Haniger, count at 1-1. Jordan Zimmermann, second year with Detroit, 6'2", 225, 30 years old. Second round pick of the Nationals back in 07 out of the University of Wisconsin at Stevens Point. 2-time All-Star with the Nats, 2013 and 2014, and a career mark 70-50 with a 3.32 ERA. Bunt a beauty, never get him. Well done. First and second, sets it up nicely for Robinson Cano. Second time we've seen him drop one down. So that one for a base hit, the other one was out for the sacrifice fly ahead in the count.
But he was bunting for a base hit then too, because he's paying attention to what the third baseman is doing. The third baseman is going to play back. He'll take the hit. And that's exactly what happened. Castellanos, the third baseman, playing deep, and he has good speed, so if he can get it close to the line, he'll pick up a base hit.
Nice to see a young man with old school bunting skills. Rare.
And paying attention to what the defense is giving him and taking advantage of it.
So now you bring in Cano, Cruz, and Motter. Could be some early scoring here on a nice night in Detroit. Currently 67 degrees. A mild breeze coming in from left center. First pitch to Cano, ball 1. Robbie 2 for 4 with an RBI on Sunday. He's got 6 hits on the road trip.
Yeah, you can see he's been hot last 5 games, 421 average with a home run.
Zimmermann, 1 appearance against the Mariners August 29th of 2014 in Seattle, an 8-3 win. Fouled back by Cano. In that game, Zimmermann went 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and 8 strikeouts. First two men have reached. Segura jumped on the first pitch. On the 1-1 pitch, Haniger laid down a perfect bunt down the third baseline. Two and one to Robbie.
I mentioned Zimmerman throwing his curveball a little bit more, and that's what the last pitch was. It hasn't worked out too well for him, though. Opponent's hitting 400 on his curveball.
Tigers start tonight, tied with Cleveland atop the Central Division at 10-8. Fly ball left field, backing up Upton on the track, feeling for the wall. Segura tags, so does Haniger. So second and third, one out for Nelson Cruz. As Cano hits it deep enough to advance the runners. Well done.
A bit surprised that Upton threw the ball into third base the way they did. He was all the way on the track. I think more times than not, the coaching staff, the manager would like to see him throw the ball into second. You keep the double play in order, so that's a big break for the Mariners. See if Nelson Cruz can take advantage of it.
At the home run he hit in Oakland the other day. Line shot left field. 2 for 4. 3 runs scored. Knocked in 5. And he had 5 walks in that series. He was behind, I believe, in every one of them. 0-2. Was able to work a walk.
They were very careful with him. And because he was able to take the walks, has his batting average now up to 271 after a really slow start.
You bet. He was at 083 at one point. Three home runs, 14 runs batted in. He's got 5 doubles. Slicing fly ball. Adducey into the corner. Segura, even with the hammy, he's going to score easily, and Haniger moves up. So the Mariners have a 1-0 lead. An RBI for Nelson Cruz, his 15th. And Seattle's on top here in the first inning.
We'll take a look at the swing by Nelson Cruz. Stays on it right there. Looked like a little curveball in the middle of the plate. About thigh high. Not trying to do too much with it. Gets it out to the warning track and right. Pick up another RBI. 15 RBIs for him now.
Pretty strong to hit that pitch that far, right?
Yes. Well, I was chuckling a little bit when you talked about the line drive home run that he hit in Oakland the other day.
Right.
Because if you go back and you look at it, that line drive ended up getting in on him a little bit. It wasn't on the barrel. He's amazing.
Taylor Motter, line drive base hit. Haniger will score easily. 2-0 Mariners. Taylor Motter jumping on the first pitch. His 13th run batted in.
Well, the Mariners are quickly 1 for 2 with runners in scoring position here in the first inning. Maybe the guys are paying attention to the scouting report. Like a little cut fastball out over the plate, but they're being aggressive.
So Monter's at first, brings up Daniel Vogelback. Second game since being called up. Monter back safely.
Had a base hit and an RBI in his first game.
See how his swing looks today. Looked a little tentative the other day in Oakland.
Yeah, maybe because it was his first time out there. I think that the main thing for me to watch is how they pitch him in their setup away, because that's exactly what the A's did. They tried to pitch him on the outside corner the entire time.
Vogelback 309, hitter at Tacoma. 2 home runs, 14 runs batted in.
Yeah, by pitching him away, that should not bother him. We saw him throughout the spring hitting the ball the other way. He has the ability to do that. So
runner goes, throw down to second, gets past the shortstop Romine. Stolen base Taylor Motter. He's 2 for 2 on this young season.
So even though he leads the club in home runs with 5, still likes to run the bases. Talking to him in spring training, he wanted to steal some bases, cause some problems. Well, he's able to get himself into scoring position with 2 outs as the ball goes off the thumb of the glove. And an opportunity for Daniel to drive in a run.
The other day, you and I were talking on the radio side about him. You mentioned, I thought it was a good one, him being a modern-day Mark McLemore.
Yeah.
Play every day at various positions. I mean, his bat is that good. and all the other things he brings to the table.
Well, it's one of the other things that we were talking about today too, Dave, is for him and why more players don't embrace the idea of playing a bunch of different positions, because it gets you in the lineup more, and the more you're in the lineup, if you produce offensively, they'll find a spot for you.
Oh, believe me. That's a headache a manager wants.
Yes, exactly. Well, that's exactly what Taylor Motter has done. He's embraced the role. He's comfortable with it. Fortunately for him, he's a good enough athlete to where he can play all the positions.
There's going to be a third base today.
Giving Kyle Seager another day with his hip.
First base situation doesn't clean up there or clear up. He could wind up playing at first base a lot as Vogelbach looks at a strike.
We're at the bottom of the strike zone. You just never know in this game. Heredia waiting on deck. He was going to be a platoon player, and now he's getting a chance to play every day because of the way he's been swinging it.
How did he do it, Mike? He did it the old-fashioned way. He earned it. Slap foul.
Another fastball away from him.
And when Vogelbach in the spring, and we really, and fans were delighted to see that, he hit the ball with authority the other way.
And hopefully, as he gets more comfortable now, that's what he'll start to do, because if you want the pitches in the middle of the plate to middle in, you have to handle the pitch away, and that is the way that they've pitched him so far on the outside corner.
3-2 pitch, runner at second. Fly ball, medium center field. Coming in is Tyler Collins. Productive first inning for the Mariners. 2 runs on 3 hits and leave them in. The King has a cushion early. It's 2-0 Mariners. The mound with the lead. He's got a 5-2 mark here against Detroit, and 2-1 this season. Here's the Tiger lineup he'll face.
Ian Kinsler going to lead things off to a little bit of a slow start. You see the .217 batting average, a fine career that he's had so far. Felix has to be careful. 4 home runs in his career against Felix. Victor Martinez will be the DH hitting cleanup. Andrew Romine will round out the 9 for the Tigers. For Felix on the air, this will be his 5th start. 2-1 record, a 3.65 ERA. About 20 strikeouts over just 1 walk on the year. For Felix, his average fastball this year has been 91 miles an hour. You're going to see his curveball and his changeup. Occasional slider from him.
One thing we know about Kinsler, dead red fastball hitter.
And he's middle in.
Yes, indeed. WBC second baseman on that championship team. Gold Glove winner at second base last year. Seen Kinsler a lot during his time in Texas. There from 07 to 13. Been here since the 14 season. There are his numbers against Felix. Jumped on that hanger. Banged it into the corner. Heredia will dig it out. Kinsler with the leadoff double.
Take a look at the defense behind Felix. Dyson is going to be in center field. One change on the left side of the infield. Gene Segura back at shortstop, so Taylor Motter will give Kyle Seager the 9F Motter at third base. Daniel Vogelback at first base, and Mike Zunino will do the catching. Felix in his last outing against the Marlins was at home on Wednesday. 6 1/3, 12 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. He threw 99 pitches in that outing.
Here's Tyler Collins. He slaps one the other way. Heredia, he made the catch.
What a play.
He made the catch. Nicely done. Ramon De Jesus, the umpire at third, signaling immediately. Great effort there by Guillermo Heredia. 1 out.
And he has a little bit of a sun field. It's one of the few places you can see the sunglasses on. Take a look at our Snoqualmie Casino Supermo and the concentration. Did something there that you don't see very often when he was going for the ball. His glove was down low on the ground right away. Most of the time they'll run to the spot and then stick the glove out there last. But I think because he was having an issue with a little bit of the sun, get the glove where it needs to be. Nice catch.
Mentioned Kyle Seager a few minutes ago. Hip problem, right hip problem. If this was a championship type of situation, he'd be ready to go. Scott Service does not want to exacerbate that injury. So he'll be going day to day. As we look at Nick Castellanos, the third baseman.
It's a luxury that he has at this point because of Taylor Motter and the way that he has played.
This Detroit team without a lot of pop here, with Miguel Cabrera out with a right groin injury. Jose Iglesias, the shortstop, coming back from a concussion. Jacoby Jones got hit in the face. J.D. Martinez has a foot issue. They're missing a lot of guys. 1-0 pitch. Check down to first, and Hunter Wendelstedt said he did not go. His father Harry, a great National League umpire for a long time. Hunter Wendelstedt. Castellanos 1 for 2. Career against Felix. A lot of movement on that pitch. Comes up empty. Felix with 1 game against Detroit last year at Seattle, August 10th. A no decision in 7 innings, a 3-hit, 1-run ball, 8 strikeouts, and 4 walks. Wasn't close. Runners at first and second, 1 out.
Just his second walk on the year.
Now he's got to deal with his countryman, Victor Martinez. Victor off to a slow start at 222. No homers, 9 runs batted in, but he's coming off a 3 for 5 two-ribby performance on Sunday.
And he's hit Felix well.
Oh, yeah.
A 360 batting average with a home run against Felix.
Miguel Cabrera, 393 against Felix. No homers, 2 runs batted in. Zunino blocks it. Ball 1.
We're talking about the command that Felix has had this year and just the 1 walk coming into it, but struggling a little bit here in the first 9 pitches, just 3 strikes for him.
Victor's done. Had a great career. Switch hitter, 38 years old, out of Venezuela. His 3rd team, all in the American League. Fly ball deep left center field. Heredia's got a beat on it. He's there, makes the catch, and he throws to second. As the runner at second, Kinsler, advances to third, and he keeps the double play. Actually, now that was a second out, but that's a heck of a play there to keep that second runner out of scoring position.
It's on the outside corner, elevated a little bit for Martinez. He thought it had a chance, but the wind is blowing from left to right. Knocked it down, gave Heredia a chance to make the play.
Here's Justin Upton. Decent start, 277, 3 home runs. Tigers coming in off a weekend in which they won 2 out of 3 at Minnesota. They went 4-6 on a road trip to Cleveland, Tampa Bay, and Minnesota, and at Tampa Bay. They lost all 3 games, and Brett Ausmus, their manager, in his 4th year, said it's the worst defensive showing they've made since he's been here. And he had 2 tours of duty as a player with Detroit.
He called him out on it, didn't he?
He sure did. They couldn't do anything. Talked to Justin Upton about it. He said they didn't. They had there's Brad, longtime catcher, played from 1993 to 2010. Tampa Bay dunked a lot of shots in. Detroit couldn't catch the ball, throw it to the wrong base. I mean, all kinds of stuff you wouldn't expect at this level. Two 2-0 lead for the Mariners, and Felix trying to keep it that way. He's behind here 2-0. He did go, says Joe West, the home plate umpire, and Upton doesn't like it. 2-1. Upton with his 4th team. Arizona, Atlanta, San Diego, and Detroit. Castellanos not much of a lead at first. Kinsler at 3rd. Castellanos playing with him now. This will be 2-1 here to Upton. Line drive, left field. Heredy's going to have to dig that one out. Kinsler walks home. Castellanos will get the stop sign from Dave Clark. RBI double. Justin Upton, 2-1 ball game. 9th RBI for Justin on his 4th double. It's his 3rd career hit against Felix.
And it's on an off-speed pitch. We'll take a look at it. That's the changeup. Changeup 88 miles an hour. For Felix, he typically wants that pitch below the knees, out of the strike zone. Didn't quite get it there.
So Upton, he's at 3rd. Castellanos. Upton at 2nd with Castellanos at 3rd. Here's Alex Avila. Back with the Tigers. Spent last year with the White Sox.
It's been a hot hitter for him. 364 with 3 home runs so far on the year.
Well, his dad decided that he should come back to the Tigers. His dad's the GM. Felix behind here 2-0. Could use an out here. Keep the Mariners on top. Back with a strike. His dad Al Avila brought him back to the Tigers 2nd time around. There's Al. That must have been a heck of a conversation with his wife. Hey, I'm trading your son.
Yeah, but bringing him back was the better one to have.
You got back on the board, pal. You're back on the board, Al. You're good to go, baby. Alex got some pop. Got to be careful. He's got 3 home runs already as he looks at strike 3 call. Rung up by Joe West. Felix gets the strikeout he needs. Strands 2. Tigers get on the board with the run on 2 hits, but the Mariners lead it 2-1. Sports is brought to you by Safeco Insurance. Find a local agent at safeco.com. Do more by Primera Blue Cross, your hometown health plan for 84 years. And by True Green, America's #1 professional lawn care company. Start today. Live life outside. So we bring you inside the Henry Ford Museum of American Innovation. Go M's, hey Felix. There we go. 2-1 lead for the Mariners. They got to Jordan Zimmerman. 2 runs on 3 hits. Guillermo Heredia leads off. Bottom third of the order. He'll be followed by Mike Zunino and Gerard Dyson. 3 hits on a road trip. Swung on it. Base hit left field. Aggressive attacking by Heredia.
And this is the way it went in the first inning. Aggressive on the fastball, and you can see that one middle in. Tried to go to the outside corner. Third baseman playing in, and he hits it by him.
So Heredia at first with really good speed. And Mike Zunino, 2 for 11 on the road trip. Should be a hot streak coming at some point for Mike. Look out. Mike hitting just 192. He has 4 doubles. Still looking for that first homer. Broken bat ground ball. They'll go around the horn here. Turn the double play. Well done by Castellanos to Kinsler to Avila. Hey, the Mariners and EQC, they salute the men and women of the armed forces with a special ticket offer at nearly all home games this season. Members of the U.S. military receive 10% off select seats. Tickets are available when you show your military ID at the Safeco Field box office. Quick 2 outs. Brings up Gerard Dyson. Third baseman, Castellanos way in. See if they try to pitch him way in as well. Breaking ball, swing, and a miss. How about the late game money bags he got recently? Good stuff.
Well, I think the encouraging thing is now that the Mariners as a team are hitting much better with runners in scoring position over the last 8 games, and as often as he's on the bases, they had plenty of opportunities. Dyson being a part of that, and they have a lot of speed. Now Segura is back. Like to take advantage of it.
Comes a 2-1 pitch. Popped it up. This is playable. Foul territory for Castellanos, and the Mariners are gone, helped by a double play. But lead 2-1 as we head to the home second. this middle portion of the road trip. Time now for a Geico This Day in MLB history. 97, 13-8 Mariners win over the Blue Jays in Toronto. Ken Griffey Jr., 3 home runs. Gives him 13 home runs in the month, breaking the record the most round trippers hit in April. And I'm told Mr. Blars you had a good day going 1 for 2 with a base hit.
I'm going to guess, with looking at the score and the fact that I was 1 for 2, I probably didn't start that game, came in a little bit later.
Pinch hit for Paulie Sorrento.
That month was unreal watching Junior hit every day.
I'll bet. Make sure you watch BP as well.
They didn't talk about exit velocity back then, but I'm sure he was setting records.
All you needed was, he's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
Felix a walk and a strikeout, gave up an RBI double in the first. Ducey puts it in play. Motter tried to barehand it, can't find it. Good base hit. Jim Ducey made his Tiger debut on Sunday, went 3 for 4.
I think this is the only play that Motter had. You can see that pitch right off the outside corner, and he was going to try to barehand and get rid of it quickly.
So the leadoff man's aboard here in the second inning, batting in the 8th hole, the catcher James McCann. Like Drew Smiley from the University of Arkansas. Slow start for McCann, just 6 for 40. Dallas Keuchel, also from Pig Sooie country. Look out in that dugout. Wind continuing to blow in from left center field. Ducey back. Ducey out of Burnaby, British Columbia. It's a bad weather well east of here. Yankees at Red Sox, Miami at Philly, all rained out. Can got a piece of that to keep the at-bat alive. Second round pick back in 2011 of the Tigers. 4th year with Detroit. Play against Brad?
Yes. You mentioned his 6 hits for McCann. 4 of them home runs.
Breaking ball missed. Andrew Romine's on deck.
Brad was always known as a really good defensive catcher, calling a game, catch and throw. I think he had some pretty good years offensively.
Yeah, he did. 3-time Gold Glove winner too. Yep. 18 years. San Diego, Detroit, Houston, and the Dodgers. Joe Torre recommended him for this job. Ducey has to scramble back. Cruz and Motter, first inning RBIs for the Mariners. They got 2 runs on 3 hits. James Paxton, look forward to seeing him tomorrow against Daniel Norris, and then Asashi Iwakuma against Justin Verlander on Thursday here in Detroit. Backing up Haniger. Running out of room. Looking up. Gone. Opposite field home run by James McCann. A 3-2 Detroit lead for McCann, his 5th homer. RBIs 8 and 9. Adduci scoring in front of him.
Felix trying to go to the outside corner. That's a two-seam fastball, and it's on the corner, but again, belt high. And McCann able to get the barrel to it with the way the breeze is blowing out towards right field. Wasn't much question that it was going to have the carry to it.
6th home run given up by Felix, and here's another blast. Hanging up. Haniger. Boy, had to make a heck of an adjustment there out there in right center field. Deep part of the park.
That's 420 to dead center field. So it helps to have an outfield that can cover a lot of ground.
One down. Back to the top of the order. Ian Kinsler. Double to left. Matchup last year, the Tigers and the Mariners, it was an all or nothing. Mariners went 3-0 at home and went 0-4 here. One to Kinsler.
Good fastball in the outside corner at 91 miles an hour. That's been the average speed for Felix on his fastball, 91.
Two and one. Just one out here in the second. See if he can get a tough hitter in Kinsler. Count goes to 3-1. On deck hitter Tyler Collins. On the corner. Full count. Mariners come in at 8-12, last place in the West, right behind the Angels, who are 9-12, and Texas 9-11. Gonna be a tough play for Robbie. Base hit. Well, Squibber. 2-hit day for Kinsler.
A check swing infield hit.
You've been, as we look at CenturyLink, what's next? James Paxton, Daniel Norris, your pitching matchup. What do you think Paxton has to do to bounce back?
Command the inside corner again.
He was living large there in his first couple of starts.
Dominating.
You've been on the on receiving end of some of those squibbers like that. It's tough to pick it up one hand. That gets past Vogelbach. Kinsler digging for third. He'll get there. Free swinging bunch. Tigers 8th in batting average. 236.
Looks like Daniel has an opportunity to make a backhanded play. Take a look at that's on a changeup. Again, first pitch swinging. Just out of his reach, right off the end of his glove. That puts Felix in a tough situation.
Runners at the corners. A word from Mel Stoudemire Jr. But you get those squibbers. That's tough trying to come in. And, it's going every which way.
It's not just that, but because of where Robbie started, he was playing up the middle. Then he had to come back across the diamond. The ball is in the dirt. He knows that Kinsler can run well, so he's having to try to barehand the ball, and he doesn't have the right angle because he's more swiping across the ball as opposed to the ball coming directly to him.
Right, ball. He's going this way, and the ball's going the other way.
Exactly, which makes it more difficult. So tough. It would have been a tough play.
Castellanos walked on 4 pitches. 3.
Tigers so far 1 for 4 in the game. Runners in scoring position.
On the season, they've got good numbers in that category at 303. Ball 1. Still looking for the first strike of the night to Castellanos. Four hits in this inning. Felix trying to keep it a 3-2 ball game here. He's got runners at the corners, 1 out. One on one. Castellanos, a first-round pick back in 2010, 44th overall. Like the configuration of the home plate area here at Detroit. And gets away from Zunino, and it's going to score. Shutting it down at second is Collins as Kinsler scores, make it a 4-2 Detroit lead.
It looks like a wild pitch in the dirt. Mike not able to block it. Take a look at it. That's the changeup. Hits right off the front of the plate. So the ball bounces up in the air a little bit higher than Mike expected it to.
Now a 4-2 lead. Runner at second. 2-1 to Castellanos. Way inside. 3-1. Mel's already on the phone.
Felix thrown 41 pitches, 23 strikes.
He's 3-1 here to Castellanos. 1 out, runner at second. Chris Heston warming up. Just recalled from Tacoma. Former Giant. Walked him. Second time he's walked Castellanos. Runners at first and second for Victor Martinez. Sticky situation. 1 out. Victor flat out to left. Victor has not only good numbers against Felix, but against the Mariners in general at .326, 13 home runs and 61 runs batted in. Heredia towards the line. Big out. 2 down.
Tigers with 4 runs, and they're just 1 for 5 now. Runners in scoring position.
Brings up Justin Upton, RBI double to the left. First inning. Was ahead in the count, 2-1. He's the 8th man to the plate. Felix needs to battle here and get this 3rd out. We've seen him sharper. Oh, 2. Reserve the beer.
A little shower. This will be the 28th pitch of the inning for Felix.
Oh, 2. Big cut. Fouled it back. Save the beer. Well, I'll have to reload. Maybe. Hopefully he brought. Well, got a shampoo in the process too. Oh man. 0-2 here to Upton. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Held on to by Zunino. Big inning for the Tigers as they get 3 runs on 4 hits, leave a couple, and take a 4-2 lead. Mike, so far the tenor of this game, both teams offensively very aggressive.
Very aggressive. Started with Segura, led the game off with a base hit, hitting the first pitch into left field. Eventually scored a run for the Mariners.
I am straight up in the infield, a couple steps towards right in center. Tyler Collins. Segura, Henniger, and Cano. Just joining us, Kyle Seager. Hip issue, day-to-day, he's listed. That one put in play right to Kinsler. Friendly hop, 1 out. 1 out here in the top of the 3rd in Detroit. And get royally excited for Felix bobblehead night. It's coming up Saturday, May 6th. This year's bobblehead features King Felix standing atop a crown, and it's free to the first 20,000 fans, courtesy of Root Sports. So stop by Mariners.com for tickets. May 6th, it'll be the Texas Rangers in town. There's Mitch Haniger. Makes it ball 1. 1-1 count. First at bat, laid down a beautiful bunt, third base line with Castellanos playing deep. Castellanos this time in on the cut. Haniger gaining national attention with the numbers he's putting up in this first campaign here with the Mariners. Well, he should. Had a good road trip, 5 for 16, 2 doubles, a triple. Walked a couple of times. Line drive, base hit. 2 hits tonight for Haniger. Gives him 27 on this early part of the season.
The second baseman, Robinson Cano.
That was a breaking ball, maybe a slider. You can see on the outside corner, hit it hard back up the middle.
Guys in video rooms all around the American League will be doubling up on this kid now.
They're trying to figure it out. Well, he swung at the fastball in the pitch before, and then Zimmerman going right back to the outside corner. Little cut fastball.
All one to Robbie Cano, productive out, a productive fly out deep to left. A couple of runners on base. They were able to move up. Cruz followed with the sacrifice fly. Taylor Motter an RBI single. Back with the dive is Haniger. Got an issue with Haniger.
Yep, they're calling the trainer out.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Oh boy. Rick Griffin coming out.
Well, you're diving back into the base, so it could be hand, finger, wrist. Hopefully not a hamstring.
Let's take a look at this dive back into the bag, push off, that trail hand. Did he jam that?
Maybe have it just stick in the ground.
Yep.
Oh, take him out.
That's not good. Brother. So Danny Valencia will take over.
Another look at it.
I bet it's that left-hand wrist.
The left wrist.
Yep. Jam City. So Danny Valencia pressed into service. Pitch to Robbie. Fouled off. We're talking about it every spring training. Start off a season and you know there's going to be injuries, and there's no such thing, I think, as good timing on an injury. And this kid is as hot as anybody in baseball.
Yep. And with the way his future is and how well he's played, they're not going to take any chances at all, especially since it's early in the season. But you can see he's really disappointed.
Man. Robbie's got a 1-1 count. Strike two.
And Chris Heston continues to throw in the Mariners' pen, so Felix probably done after just 2 innings.
4 runs on 6 hits. A lot of balls hit hard. Kinsler gets the front end. They get the back end. A 4-6-3 double play. Second double play in as many innings for the Tigers, who will bat with a 4-2 lead in the home third. Tigers in this first of 3, and things not going well here tonight for the Mariners. Check this out. Mitch Haniger's swing, and something wasn't right.
You can see his right hand, the way his arm's falling straight down, and his right hand, he's doing something with his hand, and I think it was on that inside pitch. And then he'll get a base hit back up the middle, and you can see after a couple of steps, you can see on his face he grimaces, and again, I think that right hand or wrist, he's having an issue with it.
Further complicating matters, Felix Hernandez didn't have it tonight. 2 innings of 6 hit ball, 4 runs all earned, 2 walks. Some balls hit hard here tonight, Mike.
Yeah, he had to throw 48 pitches to get through the 2 innings. Keep in mind he'd only walked 1 batter this year with 2 in the 2 innings that he had worked. Chris Heston will take over. See what he did last year, a 1-1 record. Just 5 innings of work for Chris last year.
Just called up from Tacoma, and taking over in right field, Danny Valencia. Danny, in all his years in the big leagues, has played corner outfield, first and third. (2-0) to Avila, his second time around, playing at first base tonight. Struck out looking to end the first inning. It's Segura out there in the shift. Apologize for any profanities you may have heard. 1 out here in the 3rd inning for Detroit to bring up Jim Adduci. Infield hit.
For Chris Heston, he has major league experience. Obviously last year didn't get to pitch a lot at the major league level. Seeing him in spring training. Good sinking fastball, right around 90 miles an hour.
Hit hard right to Cano. 2 outs. So that is not the news you were looking for as the Mariners started the middle leg of this road trip. Haniger has to leave. You got Seager on the day-to-day with a hip, and then Felix not being sharp.
There's still something to think about with Felix too, and the fact that he'd thrown 48 pitches, but just a couple of innings, he was able to get out of that 2nd inning. So hopefully there's nothing wrong with him.
Hear, hear. Not the truth.
And it was just an evening where Scott Service just felt that he just didn't have it today.
2-run homer by James McCann. Took a Felix pitch, the outside corner, and rode it out right field. 2-run homer, his 5th. RBIs 8 and 9. Out of the gate, the Mariners were strong with 2 runs on 3 hits. Sent 6 men to the plate in the first inning. Tigers come back with 1 in the home first, Upton an RBI double, and a wild pitch and a 2-run homer in that 2nd inning for Detroit. 2-2 to count here to McCann with 2 out, nobody on. That will drop in. Slicing looper for McCann. He's 2 for 2. We'll bring up Andrew Romine. Romine flied out to right center field for the first out in the 2nd inning. In that 2nd inning, 3 runs on 4 hits, with the Tigers sending 8 men to the plate. Flipped the other way, trouble. Already has got a play on a couple of bounces, and now the runner to the batter took off. Do they have him? Safe. Romine thought for sure that McCann was going to leg it to third. Practically ran up his back.
He was fortunate to pick his head up when he did to see that. He hadn't gone to third and had to get back to first base.
Scramble to get back. Now you got to deal with Kinsler now for the third time in as many innings. Infield hit last time up, double to left in the first.
Tigers 1 for 6 runners in scoring position this evening.
Haniger's got a strained oblique. Boy, that is the injury of the early 21st century, isn't it? Two and 0 here.
Those are tough because you can't put a timeline on them.
Right. You never had one of those, did you?
I'm glad. Painful.
And it seems like they come in bunches, too.
Yeah.
Dyson has to back up a long way, but this is a spacious ballpark. Tigers threaten, they leave 2. They've got a 4-2 lead. Thank you very much. Nelson Cruz to lead it off here in the fourth, followed by Taylor Motter and Daniel Vogelbach. Nelly with a sac fly to right in the first inning. Jordan Zimmerman threw 3. 2 runs, 5 hits. No walks, no strikeouts. Sharply hit, base hit to right for Mr. Cruz to start things off here in the fourth.
Nelson has been hot, really swinging the bat well. Starting to use all the field, the entire field.
Yeah, 6th hit here on a road trip.
You see that last pitch on the outside corner. They tried to get it on his hands. Zimmerman missed his spot, and Nelson takes advantage of it.
Taylor Motter, first time up, he swung at the first pitch, hit it hard in the left field and stole second. Knocked in a run. It's ball 1. Play Motter straight up, infield and outfield. Cruz, not much of a lead. Still get a tickle out of his stolen base the other day. I was on radio with Rick Riz. We were stunned. I'm going to gather you were too.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Big man, take it off. That was great. Inside the Motter, 2-1.
I'm not sure it's something that Scott wants to see a lot of.
Scott said, hey, you know, if you think you can get it, but you better get it. You better get it. Two balls, one strike. 3-1 to Motter. Daniel Vogelback on deck. Slide out to center. Vogelback didn't his first at bat. Taylor Motter, advantage 3-1. And that strikes us Joe West. Mariners 1-3 in this current trip. Nice win on Sunday, 11-1 against the A's. 3 here, 3 in Cleveland, then come home. Left field, and backing up a few steps on the track is Upton. There's one away. Let's take a look at the Mariners calendar, brought to you by Mattress Firm. Illustrate what we just spoke about. The road trip continues here in Detroit, goes on to Cleveland, and then the Angels in Texas, and then I get to see my hometown, Philadelphia, and then go to Toronto, and then we'll come home, and then we'll go back east. We go to Washington and Boston. Vogelback, see what he can do here. 1 out, 1 on. Breaking ball for strike. And the word we had on Vogelback from Jerry DiPoto and company that he has hit at every level he's been at. Mariners can use a boost here today. Mitch Haniger having to leave with strained oblique. And all the weightlifting that has changed in your era, the weightlifting, there wasn't as much of a premium on weightlifting as it is now in baseball.
No, you're right.
That's going to drop down and be a base hit for Vogelback. Runners at first and second. So first and second now for the Mariners. And Guillermo Heredia with a chance to get something done here.
We're talking about the workouts. It's something that these guys do all year long. Even after the games, you take another look at the swing towards the end of the bat. But they have trainers that they work with all winter long. It's really has changed the game. And unfortunately, because of that, they have the oblique issues from time to time.
Be the result of what? Too many pull downs, maybe too many chin ups, pull ups.
There's a lot of different things to it. Who knows?
We're building a threat here. 2 on. Runners at first and second, 1 out. Ball 1. Already a single to left leading off the second, was erased in a double play. One-0 pitch. Ground ball. Castellanos gave ground on it. Gets it to Kinsler for 1. Over to first. Avila double play. Third double play turn tonight already by Detroit. 4-2 Tigers. on Root Sports, being brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Honda. Hurry into the Honda Dream Garage sales event today. Let's take a look at Trevor Bayne's number 21 car, Ford 2011 Daytona 500 winner. So the NASCAR season starts for real. The Super Bowl. They start with their Super Bowl of the sport in February, and it's a big, big, big happening. Right now, Mariners short end 4-2. Chris Heston on in relief for Felix Hernandez. He's got Tyler Collins, Nick Castellanos, and Victor Martinez, 2, 3, 4 in the order. Heston up and down with the Giants last year. Injury problems. He went 1-1 in 4 games and multiple trips through their minor league system. Boy, Houston, talk about injuries. Altuve and Hernandez just had recently in the last hour or so had a collision, and both guys had to leave the ball game. Angie will have video of that as we move forward.
And so far for Heston, his fastball 87 to 90 miles an hour. Pretty good sinker. Walking a leadoff hitter here in Collins. Mixed in a changeup and a slider with it.
Well, here comes Castellanos. Felix walked him twice. These teams have already combined for 6 runs on 15 hits as we play here in the 4th. Fly ball right field for Danny Valencia in place of Mitch Haniger. First out here in the home 4th. And if you're just joining us, the Tigers in first place, tied with Cleveland at 10-8 atop the Central, and they're playing without Miguel Cabrera, Jose Iglesias, Jacoby Jones, and J.D. Martinez, all on the disabled list.
It's amazing to see them in first place when you consider they're last in ERA. Typically, if your pitching is hurting you, as a team, you're not going to do well, but they're hanging in there right now as they work through it.
Cabrera, they expect to have him back in another 10 days or so. Iglesias battling the aftermath of a concussion. Jacoby Jones, you may have seen the highlights the other day. He got hit in the face. I think that was in Minnesota. J.D. Martinez has a foot issue. One out, one on, 2-0 count here for Victor Martinez, who's twice fly to left. There's a strike.
Right now for the Tigers, they've had their leadoff hitter on 3 of the 4 innings, including this one. Previous 2 innings, they scored.
Another strike to Victor. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Good off-speed pitch, and we were talking about Jacoby Jones on the DL. This is what happened Saturday in Minnesota. Oh, that is tough to look at. So later in the game, Sano didn't get hit. Push, shove, a couple of words here and there. Bench is empty. They get Sano out of the game. Boyd's out of the game. Jones had to get 9 stitches in his mouth. Just could not get out of the way of that pitch up and in. Here's Justin Upton. So 2 away. 4th inning, 1 on. Two note up. Justin Upton. Brad Ausmus has had some guys step up with the big 4 they have out on the DL. Ducey, Machado, John Hicks, a former Mariner. They've all helped pick up the slack.
Upton off to a pretty good start. Came into the game hitting .277 with 3 home runs.
Count evens at 2-2. Heston, a long man tonight with Felix Hernandez only going 2 innings. Hit well and deep, and bye-bye. Two-run homer. Justin Upton. His 4th. RBIs 9 and 10. 6-2 lead for Detroit. And that was a laser shot.
And that's a fastball, 2-seamer. Trying to get it to the inside corner. It's actually in off the plate. He's able to get the barrel to it.
Knew it instantly.
Yeah, his 4th home run of the year.
Had a good night. RBI double in the 1st. Second home run hit by the Tigers this evening. Gives them 26 on the season. Entered today 5th in the league. Strike 1 to Avila. Who's Heston's first batter, leading off in the 3rd. Chris Heston does not want to give up any more runs, as this one is torched. Deep left center field. My goodness. Avila with his 4th home run. 3rd 4-bagger tonight for Detroit.
Well over 400 feet. And again, fastball to the outside corner. This one's belt high, probably middle away.
7-2 lead. Here's a Ducey. Infield hit and a ground out. One on one. First time this season, Tigers have gone back-to-back homers. Breaking ball for strike. Ball 2. 2-2. All over Chris Heston. Extra bases here for Adusi. That's a 3 spot.
Once it gets past the outfielders in this ballpark, it's so deep. Again, it's 420 feet to center field. An easy triple.
That is
Stottlemyre Jr. on his way out to the mound.
And 3 consecutive ringing hits. Ducey's got pretty good wheels. Young man out of Burnaby, British Columbia. 2003 Marlins 42nd round pick. Played 6 games with Texas in 2013 and 14. Big kid, 6'2", 210. More scrambling out in the pen. So Ducey, a triple with 2 outs. McCann has had a night, a home run, 2-run shot, and a base hit to center.
When you look at the Tigers lineup tonight, Victor Martinez, the cleanup hitter, only one that has not reached base.
Bottom half of the order is doing pretty well. Upton batting in the 5-hole. He's driven in 3. He's got a couple of hits. Home run for Avila. 2-hit night for Ducey. 2-hit night for McCann. And Romine batting 9th has a single. One pitch. Hit to Motter. Steps into the throw. Lots of damage. It just ended. 7-2 Tigers. And just when you think the Mariners are about to strike, the tables get turned by the Tigers. They have turned not 1, not 2, but 3 double plays through the first 4 innings. Mariners have only left 2 men on. Twin killings, another part of the storyline in this game here, along with the power and the subpar pitching by the Mariners.
A little bit surprising to see that from Zimmerman in the game. He's been a fly ball pitcher this year. Showed all the double plays.
Mike Zunino leads off, looks at strike 1. Zunino, Dyson, and Segura, 8, 9, and 1. Heston, no strikeouts, no walks thus far. Mike grounded out into the first double play. That was back in the second. The 0-2. Hit the target. You can see McCann. He wanted that pitch up in the zone. First strikeout.
Back-to-back pitches at the top of the strike zone to Mike. Zimmerman's fastball, 91, 92 miles an hour this evening. He's mixed in a cutter and a slider with it. Occasional curveball.
Here's Dyson fouled out to Castellanos. Shows bunt. And it's a strike. 7 runs on 11 hits through 4 for Detroit. Left 7 on. 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors. 2 left by the Mariners. They're in need of a big time pick-me-up while there's still time. Breaking ball for strike. One, two, outside. Jordan Zimmerman in his second year with Detroit. Last year 9-7 in 19 games, 18 starts, 4.87 ERA. Bouncing ball. Villa, easy play. So far, a quiet 5th inning. Sunday, May 7th. Kyle Seager Cap Day. Mariners take on the Rangers. This cool lid is free to all kids 14 and under. It's all part of Aquafina Little League Day at the ballpark, so go to Mariners.com for tickets. Top of the order, and Gene Segura. Good to have him back after being injured back on the 10th against Houston. First pitch he saw tonight, a hard single to left. Second time up, a ground out to second base. Inside to Gene. On deck, if he can keep it going, is Danny Valencia for his first plate appearance. Mitch Haniger, if you're just joining us, had to leave with a strained oblique. 3rd inning. Boy, here's zoomed by a crushing one. Deep left center field, and it is gone. A home run for Gerard Dyson, his first as a Mariner. Segura riding one out of here, and he hit it awfully hard.
Good to have him back in the lineup. We had a chance to watch him run his first time up after the base hit, and now the home run to left center field. Again, a big ballpark. But he typically will find a way to get the barrel to it, and that fastball right in the middle of the plate.
2-0. Second home run for Segura. Man, did he hit that hard. Valencia, fly ball. Danny's got one. That's gone. Back-to-back homers. How about Valencia?
Back-to-back pitches.
Valencia has been struggling mightily at $1.45. No homers, 4 runs batted in. And it's a tee shot here. Well done.
Looks like another fastball. It is. They wanted to go away. That is on the inside corner, elevated above the belt.
Is that the one that maybe snaps him out of it?
You hope. You never know. One swing, a take, a foul ball, something. It'll all click in. That was a pretty good swing right there. That fastball running in on his hands.
Well, we know he's got pop. 17 last year with Oakland. Breaking ball to Cano. Fly ball left field and bounced into a double play.
Robbie not happy about that last call,
to say the least. Last time the Mariners went back-to-back, Cano and Cruz, it was just a week ago. That was against Miami. Inside. 2-1. So Zimmerman giving up back-to-back shots here. For Jordan. Home runs 2 and 3 that he's given up. Broken bat liner, 1 hop. Mariners showing some fight here in the 5th. Segura, Valencia, they go back to back, make this a 7-4 ball game. That big home run on a 2-0 pitch in the 5th. And then Danny Valencia follows with one. There's Andrew Romine. Sharply hit, just past Robinson Cano. Been some sharply hit balls hit tonight by this Detroit ball club as we check out our Columbia Bank difference of the game. And here is Upton, 4th inning, 2-2 pitch, and he hits a 2-run homer. Next batter's Alex Avila, and he has a 1-1 count and leaves. So both teams have gone back-to-back homers. Got a 7-4 game. Mike, I said earlier between breaks one time that looks like a softball game breaking out. And it's holding true to form.
When you look at the Tigers, they were 8th in hitting, 8th in doubles, 5th in home runs coming into the game. So they've added to those numbers.
Three RBI night for Upton. RBI for Avila, 2 for McCann. He's got a 2-run homer. Tigers have hit 3 home runs, 2 for the Mariners. RBIs for Cruz, Motter, Valencia, and Segura.
When you look at the Tigers lineup, the bottom 3 are 6 for 9 tonight.
It's crazy.
A couple of home runs for them.
Breaking ball for a strike. And Kinsler, 4th time up. We're in the 5th inning. Devin Marshall. Ball and 2 strikes here to Kinsler. Tough hitter. Delivers a base hit to right. Coming up tomorrow, CenturyLink brings you what's next. James Paxton looking for his third wins. Even though he was not sharp last time out, still got great numbers. 1.78 ERA, goes against Daniel Norris. Seven 4 Detroit lead.
And that will bring out Scott Service.
Not surprised to see him. Two sharply hit balls here in the fifth by Romine and Kinsler, with Collins coming up. 7-4 Detroit lead. Back with more right after this. Bottom of the fifth, trying to keep it that way. Some robust numbers in Detroit's box score this evening. Look at the bottom part of that order. Lots of damage.
Yeah, a lot of doubles, some home runs in the mix. Tigers have squared the ball up tonight. Evan Marshall going to take over. This will be his fifth appearance. A 1.59 ERA. 5 2/3 so far. He has 3 strikeouts, a couple of walks. Opponents hitting .250 against him.
His task right now is to get Tyler Collins.
Fastball, curveball, changeup. Average fastball this year, 94 miles an hour.
Nobody out. First 2 men of each. Romine, he's at second. Kinsler at first.
Tigers this evening are 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position.
See their number coming in, 303.
Yeah.
Foul back. So far tonight, Collins lined out to left. Ball up and it was in the sun. It was still daylight here. Fine play by Guillermo Heredia. Then a base hit to right in the second. Walked in the fourth and scored. Scored on the Upton 2-run homer. That's hit well. Going back, Heredia. Can't get it. Bounce up off the fence. Everybody's running. Romine scores. Kinsler to third. RBI double. Tyler Collins. An 8-4 Detroit lead. It's his third run batted in. 6th round pick. Tyler Collins a few years ago.
And we're starting to see the Tigers use the entire field, hitting the ball the other way. Mariners will bring their infield in.
Kinsler worked his way to third. So second and third. For Castellanos, 2 walks and a fly to right. Drawn in infield.
That double, the 7th extra base hit for the Tigers tonight.
Wow. Up the middle. Kinsler scores. Collins right behind him. Getting out of hand.
Solid base hit back up the middle. Drawn in infield. Kinsler scores for the 3rd time tonight. We're in the 5th inning.
Wow. Victor Martinez. 2 flyouts to left and a strikeout. Way upstairs, ball 1. Three double-figure games last night. Milwaukee 11-7 over Cincy. White Sox beat Kansas City 12-1, and the Cubs beat the Pirates 14-3. It passed Omar Vizquel, the first base coach. Fifth man to the plate here in the 5th. Nobody out. That blown by Vogelback. Never had a chance. On the third is Castellanos. Digging for second is Martinez.
And another extra base hit. Off-speed pitch up out over the plate. See Daniel playing even with the base.
Produced a lot of big exit velocities tonight. Two-run homer last time up in the 4th for Upton. Stopped by Zunino. Big cut.
16 hits for the Tigers working here in the 5th.
And they've touched them all. Homer, triple, doubles.
And that's the most they've had this year in a game, and here we are in the 5th, so they're going to improve on that. It's tied for the most that the Mariners have given up this year.
Still nobody out. Runners at second and third. Another stop by Zunino. And let's not forget the other chapters in this story. Strained oblique by Haniger. Seager still out with a hip issue day to day. Felix didn't have it. 2 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Heston and Marshall have been taking it on the chin here. Now it's 3-1. to Upton with Avila on deck. Tigers starting off a homestand, coming off a 4-6 road trip. Broken back, ground ball, Segura. Checks all the runners, they get the first out. That brings up Avila, who struck out looking, grounded out to short, and hit a big home run. Left center field, hit it a long way. Pitch running away with him. He stayed right with it.
Well, it's going to put him on.
Yep. What's your feeling on that again? Intentional pass, hold up the four fingers.
I don't think it takes that much time to throw 4 pitches to the plate.
Why change? Saving about 30 seconds. So now the bases are loaded, 1 out. Hoping for a double play here. Jim Adusa's got 2 hits, one of them most recently a triple. To right center field, and these guys are going out there hacking.
They're ready to hit the fastball. Breaks his bat on that swing, hit it right off the end of the bat. But yes, they've been very aggressive tonight.
Jim's going to be, or is, number 8, the 8th hitter here in the 5th inning.
The Mariners have had to pitch to at least 5 hitters in every inning.
On a 1 to Adusi. This came up from Toledo on Sunday, AAA Toledo. Strike. Hit 349, 3 runs batted in. A couple stolen bases. And hitting 11 of his last 12 down at AAA Toledo. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, got him. He's done. Out number 2.
We'll take a look at the last pitch. That's a curveball. He just spikes it out in front of home plate and gets him to chase it. Mike Zunino getting plenty of work blocking balls tonight. Able to keep that curveball in front of him.
Here's a 9th man to the plate, James McCann. 2-run homer, 2nd inning. Base hit to center in the 3rd. Ground out to 3rd in the 4th inning. Base is loaded. 2 outs here in the 5th. Another 3 spot up on the board for Detroit, their 3rd this evening. Minnesota, Texas, no score. That's in the 3rd. And coming up in about an hour, a little less than an hour, Angels will host the Oakland Athletics. Nowhere to put him. 3-0 count.
Yeah, nobody getting loose in the Mariner pen. Next pitch will be 20. Excuse me, he's at 20 now.
3-0 pitch. There's a strike. Not what the Mariners had in mind, coming off a nice off day here in Detroit. Yikes, walked him. RBI for McCann. It's his third tonight. They have batted around. Everybody else moves up. So 10th man to the plate. Here's Romine. Started it. Base hit to right. Strike one.
You can see it in their lineup. Even when they're taking pitches, they're ready to hit.
Yep. One, two.
Have to believe a lot of that is Lloyd McClendon, hitting coach for the Tigers.
Absolutely. Manager for Seattle in the 14 of 15 seasons. 14 team took it down to 3 o'clock on Sunday, game 162, before being eliminated. Look out. Lloyd managed in Toledo last year. Back here in Detroit, where he spent many years as the hitting coach, and that's what he's doing again. Boy, this is a struggle. 1 and 2.
Evans had to work really hard, throwing a lot of pitches here in the inning. 26 so far.
Bases loaded. With 2 outs and a 1-2 pitch coming to Romine, batting for the second time here in the 5th inning. Pitch. Up the middle, off the glove. Segura, no play. Run scores. Everybody safe. RBI for Romine is 5th.
And it'll be an infield hit. And with this infield base hit, everybody in the lineup has scored at least 1 run. Right off the end of his glove, Segura going to come into the picture, tries to make the barehanded play, not able to do it. Infield hit.
They are building up an impressive offensive performance here tonight, in the midst of one, I should say. That was hit number 17. 12 runs, 17 hits. We're only in the 5th.
17 hits is a season high for him.
Holy moly.
And they're missing some important pieces out of their lineup.
Just scary talking about Miguel Cabrera, one of the best hitters of his generation. Iglesias, Jones, and Martinez. Wow. Man, oh man. 1-1 pitch.
6 of the 9 Tigers in the lineup have at least 2 hits.
10, what's it, 9, 10. He's the 11th man to the plate. And this is after the Mariners put a 2-spot up and thought, all right, not totally out of hand.
No, for a moment it felt as if they were back in the ball game.
Right.
7-4, plenty of game left for them to play.
Wow.
Unfortunately, 5 runs in this inning.
And guess what? The bases are still loaded. Look out.
And 32 pitches in the inning for Evan Marshall.
Kinsler at .261 hitter against the Mariners with 19 homers, 48 runs batted in. One-two pitch. Flip shot. What else can happen? There could be a play at the plate. It is. He is safe. He missed the tag. Holy moly.
And I think we could see that from where we're sitting, Dave.
Yep.
Mike made the catch out in front of the plate and tried a sweep tag, but it didn't appear that he was able to touch him.
Wow.
Strong throw from Dyson in center field. Accurate throw from Dyson in center field. They should have had him.
Yeah, he looked like he was meat as I picked him up coming around third.
Here's another look at it.
Sheesh. This is crazy. Slap the other way, and Dyson has to play it on the hop. 2 more runs. The merry-go-round just continues. Tyler Collins singles in 2 more. Wow.
Mel Stottlemyre Jr. making another trip out to the mound.
Sheesh.
And again, aggressive hitting on the part of the Tigers. Everything going their way right now.
16-4. We're in the 5th. Yikes. 11-12. This will be the 13th man to the plate.
$25 minutes just for this half inning.
I hear you.
There you can see the 34 pitches.
Wow.
He came in relief of Heston, who started the inning.
And he got rocked, Heston. Jeez. This will be Nick Castellanos. This will be his 5th plate appearance. 2 walks, a fly out to right, and a 2-run single. It's a 9-run inning. Man. Hit on the button right to Segura. Carnage, lots of it. 9 runs in that inning for the Tigers. Folks on Twitter, send out as much good karma as possible immediately. Nelson Cruz, Taylor Motter, and Daniel Vogelbach here in the 6th. Jordan Zimmermann sat through 26 minutes of 9 runs on 8 hits. 1 left.
66 pitches for him so far, 42 strikes.
One on 1 to Cruz. Sacrifice fly into first. Base hits right in the 4th. High fly ball, deep center field, going back and gone. Boomstick, baby, for Nelson Cruz. His 4th home run, his 15th run batted in. 16-5.
Second RBI of the game. He is really starting to heat up. 2 for 2.
And again on a cool night, breeze blowing in across the field.
And then we'll take a look at the swing. Right in the middle of the plate. Towering fly ball out to center field. Goes into the hedges.
3 of the last 4 hitters have homered for the Mariners. Segura, Valencia, and now Cruz.
Taylor Motter 1 for 2. Had a base hit back in the 1st inning. Drove in a run.
Down to 3rd to Castellanos. Here's another look at what Mr. Cruz did. It's some kind of strong. Previous configuration. He's not going to hold that one. Actually, moot point because he hit even beyond that.
Daniel Vogelbach stepping in, 1 for 2 with an RBI. Or excuse me, not an RBI, just 1 for 2 for him. Had a base hit up the middle his last time up.
$16 runs on 19 hits for Detroit. It stays fair. The Dealers got it, 2 out. Tigers have left 8 men on, 5 runs on 10 hits, no errors, 2 left for the Mariners. Brings up Heredia, 2 down, 1 in on the home run by Cruz. 1 for 2 night for Guillermo. Single to left, bounced into a double play. Situation like this, you know the guy, he wants to throw strikes out there, so just get up there and let it rip, right?
Well, I think that you're aware of the fact that he certainly is not going to try to walk anybody at this point. Heredia with his 2nd base hit, talking about letting it rip. Solid line drive into right center field, and the hitters know that too. And felt that with the struggles of Zimmermann coming into the game, the Mariners offensively would have a good night, and that has been the case. You can see the 5 runs as they work here in the 6th. They have 11 hits on the scoreboard. They've hit 3 home runs in the game.
Normally, that puts you in good stead. There's Mike Zunino, bounced into a double play and struck out. Good count here for Mike.
I think there's a pretty good chance that he'll probably see a fastball.
2-1. Ooh, brother.
Hit him on the shoulder, it looked like.
Yep. 16-5 game. He's working inside and hit him. Couple of runners aboard here for the Mariners. We'll bring up Dyson. He's 0 for 2.
Well, it looks like it's just a two-seam fastball. And it is. Just gets away from him. McCann, the catcher, set up right in the middle of the plate. And the Tigers have a reliever just starting to get loose.
Rich Doobie, the pitching coach. Shane Green, right-hander.
We have a couple of runners on, and Dyson ready to hit.
What a night. Subpar performance by Felix. Haniger gets hurt. Heston and Marshall roughed up in a big way. 16-5 Detroit lead. Kinsler's under it. A run on the home run by Nelson Cruz makes it 16-5. For today's T-Mobile Unlimited Baseball break, the Tigers bullpen, well, have had issues coming into today's game, Mike.
Yeah, they really have. And take a look at that. Was one of the big keys in this one. Can you get Zimmerman out of the game, take advantage of the bullpen? Unfortunately, the Mariners have had their own issues tonight on the mound. But you look at it last in all these categories, they've really struggled.
And at the same time, they start today tied for the division lead.
Yeah, they're a pretty good offensive club, and probably some of that, too. We were talking about them hitting with runners in scoring position, hitting over 300 as a team. Can make up for a lot of that, and they've had a good night tonight hitting with runners in scoring position.
Spectacular night.
And a lot of extra base hits, too, on top of it.
Victor Martinez leads it off. Bouncing ball goes foul. Martinez, Upton, and Avila 4, 5, and 6. Victor joined the hit parade with a double in the 5th. 13 men to the plate in that inning. All right. The adults get their faces painted tonight. The Tigers are certainly roaring here in downtown Detroit. That will be a fair ball. Takes Vogelback to the bag, one away. Bill Kruger joins us right now. And Bill, good to have you with us. And having Segura back, boy, you could do chapter and verse on what that's going to do for the offense. Sure did.
Bill, speak a little bit to the depth of the Mariners as far as their bench goes now, because you get Segura back, but now unfortunately Haniger gets hurt. We don't know how long that he's going to be out, but it's nice to have somebody like Taylor Motter on your club.
That is the hope, no question about it. Lastly, Bill, you pitched in a game like this for Detroit, beating Mike Hampton and the Mariners back in '93. What's it like pitching in a game like this? Yeah. Yes, indeed. Well, Bill, thanks for your thoughts there, and we look forward to seeing you and hearing you on the Mariners post-game show presented by Alaska Airlines coming up after this contest. Here's Upton 3-2. The count to him, 1 out, nobody on. Three and 2 to Justin Upton, who's had quite a night. 2-run homer, doubled in a run first time. Three-two pitch, walked in. So for Marshall, another walk on the board. That's his third. He's got one intention. Comes with 1 out. Brings up Alex Avila. Strikeout looking, ground out, home run, walk, and a run scored on after he was intentionally passed back in the 5th.
And I think for Scott Service with Heston and Marshall, he wanted them to get as far into this game as they possibly could, but there's still some long innings and they've had to throw a lot of pitches. So I think we're going to see some of the other guys out in the pen tonight too.
Center field, base hit. One out, 2 on. Beard Hat night. It returns to Safeco Field Friday, May 5th. Fan favorite giveaway. It's free to the first 20,000 fans when the Mariners host the Rangers. So stop by a Mariners team store or log on to mariners.com for tickets. Jim Adduci. Infield base hit, a triple. 2 for 4. Mariners have banged out 3 home runs. Normally that's a good sign. It's an oh by the way this evening. The Tigers, the claws out here. Fly ball left center field. Radio's got it measured. Two outs. Ivan Marshall looking for out number 3 here in the 6th. He's got to deal with James McCann, 2-run homer back in the 2nd. 3rd inning single. 4th inning, ground out the 3rd. 5th inning walking with the bases loaded. Oh, and 1. Look out. Well, Clarkie just got out of the way. Dave Clark.
You can see how far down the line he is.
Ooh. You got to have special peripheral vision. Down at 3rd. Hard, pull hitter in the batter's box. Thank goodness he can laugh about it. One and 2. I thought I heard that there was a rule that they were going to enforce it, that the guys had to stay in the box. But it's like, yeah, you go down there and sit.
Exactly right.
And I don't know. I don't know who's thinking about that. You do it. Art of self-preservation's at hand here.
Another good fastball in on his hands. He's just staying there with a good 2-seamer.
Two outs and runners at 1st and 2nd. Mariners trying to keep the Tigers off the board here in the 6th. Just joining us, they had a 9-run 5th inning. 13 men to the plate. The Mariners got off on the right foot coming in. 11-1 winners Sunday. Segura hits the first pitch he sees on his return to the lineup coming off the DL. Get a Cruz sac fly, RBI Motti. Hey, 2-0. Tigers come back 2-1, no big deal. Tigers go ahead 4-2. Still in a game, even 7-2. Then they make it 7-4, and then things fall apart in the 5th. Valencia, he's got one of the 3 Mariner home runs, makes that play, and indeed the Mariners post a 0 on the Tigers ledger in the 6th, 16-5 Detroit. Tigers over the Mariners. Game 1 of a 3-game set here in Detroit. Our only visit here to the Motor City. Jordan Zimmerman started for the Tigers, and this is what he gave up, and boy, did he get a lot of help.
Well, Mariners were able to get to him, though. He had 11 hits in the 6 innings that he worked, 5 runs, all of them earned. Ended up throwing 80 pitches. Didn't walk anybody tonight, just the 1 strikeout for him. Shane Green will take over his 8th appearance, a 1.69 ERA. 6 strikeouts in 5 1/3. Opponents hitting .211. He has a good fastball. His average fastball is at 95 miles an hour. He'll mix in a curve and a slider with it.
There we go, top of the 7th inning. And Gene Segura will start things off.
Gene having a good night, 2 for 3, including a home run. His 2nd home run on the year. Good to have him back from the disabled list.
I'll say. The man can hit. Looks at ball 1. First pitch he saw, single to left. Since then, ground out to second and a long home run on a 2-0 pitch. Deep left center field.
James Pazos getting loose.
Shane Green takes over.
And he has a good fastball tonight. 96 miles an hour on that last fastball.
Segura had a right hamstring issue. Went down to AA Arkansas. Try to get everything back. Passed the test, and here he is. There's James Pazos. We'll see him. Shane Green came to the Tigers, part of a 3-way deal with the Yankees and Arizona, December 14. Bouncing ball to Castellanos. On the way. You're just joining us. Mitch Haniger had to leave the game, and it's a strained oblique.
And you can see something bothering him with fastball running in on him. I think he'll get a base hit at the middle, and you'll see him right there, the grimace on his face. Picks up a base hit. He ended up having to dive back into first, and that's when he came out of the ball game.
Second plate appearance for Danny Valencia, who took Haniger's place. Homered first pitch he saw in the 5th following the Segura blast. First home run as a Mariner. He's got to be thrilled to have checked that box, got that out of the way.
Hit it back by the walkway.
That's impressive. Left field. Hopefully Haniger's not out for significant time. It will do Danny good to get hot and stay hot. .2-0 pitch. So he's got a 3-0 count. Shane Green, this is his 3rd season with Detroit, went 5-4 last year, a 5.82 ERA in 50 games. Started 3 games. And a 4-pitch walk. to Danny Valencia. 1 out, 1 on here for the Mariners in the 7th. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Here's Robbie Cano, 0 for 3 tonight. Sharply hit past Kinsler. Valencia will cruise to third. Nice to see Robbie getting a base hit here. Mariners fighting back. Long hill to climb, though.
Doesn't do it very often, but every now and then he'll pick an at-bat where he's going to be aggressive, and that's on the first pitch right in the middle of the plate. So many times he'll take pitches and work the count, but not here. Solid base hit back up the middle.
Seventh hit on the road trip for Robinson Cano. Brings up Nelson Cruz. Homered his last time up. He's 2 for 2. Driven into at a sacrifice fly in the first inning. Great numbers on this road trip. 5 walks mixed in there. Ball 1. Shane Green on the mound in relief of Jordan Zimmerman, young man born and still lives in Claremont, Florida. 28 years old.
Well, we showed the numbers for the bullpen and for the Tigers and how they're last in a lot of categories. They've really struggled, and typically if that's the case, command has been an issue. Twelve pitches, 4 strikes for Green.
2-0 to Nelly. That's the, oh, what a wicked hop. Run scores. Valencia touches home plate. The base hit for Nelly. Moving up to second is Cano. 3 RBI night for Cruz. That was one scary hop.
A lot of top spin on it. A little sinker. And the second hop just takes off on him. He'll be able to move his head out of the way, but 106 miles an hour as it goes by him.
Every bit, right? Get flashbacks?
I can still feel it.
I believe it. I believe it. It's like the old wide receiver going across the middle. Here it comes. Boom. Taylor Motter. RBI single, stolen base in the first inning.
Mariners 2 for 5 runners in scoring position tonight.
Motter to left field, staying in the yard. Upton's under it. 2 away. Bring up Daniel Vogelbach. 1 for 3, base hit to right in the fourth. I'd like to see him turn on one here. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. Castellanos making a play for it. No. Danny catches a break.
Right towards the edge of the dugout. Wasn't quite sure where the rail was at. You can see him pull up.
Padded they may be, you don't want to run into them. New life here for Vogelbach, 0-1. Oh, a strike. A lot of scoring in this game. $16 runs, 20 hits, no errors, 10 left by Detroit. For the Mariners, 6 runs, 13 hits, no errors, and 4 men left.
When you look at the Tigers offensively, 29 runs in the last 2 games. They beat the Twins yesterday, 13-4.
Vogelbach's got a good count here at 3-1.
You said you wanted to see him turn on one. Good opportunity for him to do that right now.
I'm in. Already is on deck. He's had a good night with 2 hits, 2 for 3. Here's Guillermo. He's looked good, getting a lot more time. 3-1 pitch here to Vogelbach. Takes for ball 4. Bases are loaded for Guillermo. Second walk by Green. Cano moves to third. Cruz to second.
Brad Ausmus out of the dugout.
He's made this trip before. He showed you numbers. The bullpen has not been good. Mariners have the bases loaded here in the 7th. A few innings ago, and it's pretty bad. I mean, that's the kind of collision. Having played football, Mike, having you haven't played football, that happens on kick coverage. And these two guys, that they probably did not hear each other, and they went at it. Both of them were going 100%.
Yeah, and hearing that, they're very fortunate. Oh, very, very fortunate.
Tremendously so. Here's Heredia. against Alex Wilson, the new pitcher.
Wilson with a good fastball, 97 miles an hour. A cutter and a slider, changeup to go with it.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Right field for a Ducey. And that will do it for the Mariners. They leave them loaded. They do pick up a RBI off the bat of Nelson Cruz. 16-6 Detroit. Lottery, you can stretch your imagination like never before. Play today. Take you back to the Henry Ford Museum of American Innovation. The 1965 Lotus, powered by Ford, won the Indy 500 in '65. Jim Clark behind the wheel, and then the Goldenrod 409. My goodness, in '65, 409 miles per hour. It's a 42-year-old record. There it is. That is. Boy, oh boy, not going to corner real well for you, but getting straight ahead, you got to go A to Z. You're good. That is something else. Here's James Pazos to take over.
His 9th appearance on the year, a 2.35 ERA, 7 strikeouts, over 3 walks, and 7 2/3. Opponents hitting .241. He's not giving up a home run. Good fastball, 95, 97 miles an hour with a hard slider. He will get 9-1-2. Romine going to lead off. Kinsler and Collins after that.
If you're just joining us, that score's for real. And we've sat through it, and it wasn't pretty. Felix, 2 innings of 6, hit 4-run ball. Heston, 2 innings of 7, hit 5-run ball. Marshall, 2 innings of 7, hit 7 runs, all earned.
Saw that jersey right there. It was the Hanshin Tigers jersey that that gentleman was wearing here. Team I played for over in Japan.
Did you play a year and a half there?
1.
Yeah, clean catch by a fan.
Was. 2-handed catch over the rail.
Yeah.
Heard a lot about James when we came to spring training, plus fastball. And I think that at this point, Mel Stottlemyre Jr. has to be pretty happy with what he's been able to do. There were some concerns about his command, but I think for the most part he had 1 outing where he struggled a little bit, but outside of that he's been pretty good.
You like the fact that he's a power lefty. (1-1) here to Romine leading off. He's had quite a night. Henniger caught a fly ball in right center. The second, then a base hit to left, a base hit to right. A little infield hit for an RBI in the 5th. Down the line, going foul.
And he has a good fastball again tonight, 96 miles an hour. Dixon Machado on deck for the Tigers. He will hit for Kinsler.
That slipped out of his hand. Three and two. Cano waiting for it. It's uncanny sometimes, boy, when that shift and the guy standing right there doesn't even have to move. Follow Mariner Baseball live with the MLB.com at Bat mobile app. Stay connected to the game's best players all season long with game day, live game video, highlights, radio broadcast, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, your #1 app for live baseball. Here's Dixon Machado. Take Kinsler's place, 25-year-old out of Venezuela. Got limited time up here with the ball club. The last 2 years played a total of 32 games. Feeling goodness. Breezy evening here, 96 miles an hour.
He missed with the first pitch changeup to him when he came back with the fastball.
A lot of leather hanging off that glove. I've seen games stop. I'm sure you have, Mike. Somebody would complain about it, right?
About the leather, yeah. If they're really dangling down off of his glove, they can, I guess. What happens is he tightens up his glove probably often and just chooses not to cut the straps.
3-1. Valencia giving chase. No play. So how many gloves did you go through and how often were you maintaining them? Did you send them in for service?
My gamer would last me probably 4 or 5 years, unless it was stolen, which it happens. You know, you leave your glove on the bench, you go out and run around, and next thing you know, it's gone. But typically they would last a while, and then you'd have other gloves that you would break, and you'd have a backup, and you're constantly using that during batting practice. Because if you have an issue with your glove, if something tears or it breaks, I mean, you have to have something that you can take out there right away. So, and then for me, so I probably would go through, I don't know, a glove or two over the course of the year.
Were you a big Neat's foot oil guy, or did you put that on it? Or
I did at first, quite a bit at first, but I think nowadays you really don't have to do a whole lot of that to these gloves. They're pretty good, and you don't have to do a lot of that. But yeah, you betcha.
Soak it up real good, right? Back.
Yeah.
We're going back now.
And travel, we travel all the time, and I used to put a softball in there too, just so it didn't get the creases in there from being bent in, you know, in my gym bag.
Right.
But these guys, and you'll see these guys too, that they take a lot of pride in their equipment, and they take good care of it.
Just like golfers do.
You bet. Yeah.
Become attached to them.
Well, and you may break in 3, 4, 5 gloves before you find the one that you're comfortable with. All of them break in just a little bit different until you have that one that's perfect.
With the same manufacturer, or do you?
No. Most of these guys here have a glove contract.
Right.
Yeah.
So I thought. Okay. But I'm sure somebody somewhere skirting that one.
Of course.
It is, after all, baseball.
It happens.
Collins retired. Ball go back to Pazos. 2 outs. Tell you about Sound Transit going to the game. It's a quick and easy trip on the Sounder train, Link Light Rail, and ST Express buses. Plan your trip at soundtransit.org. So Machado, he's at second. 2 outs. And here's Castellanos. Ball 1, boy.
Good pitch.
Sure was. Missed just below that.
John Hicks on deck. He will hit for Victor Martinez.
Former Mariner. Two-0 pitch here coming. This Tiger team without 4 top players. Number 1 amongst them, Miguel Cabrera. Hitting .268, 3 homers, 9 runs batted in. Groin injury. 2-1 pitch. Count evens at 2-2. Jose Iglesias, terrific shortstop. Concussion issues. Jacoby Jones got hit in the face by a pitched ball in Minnesota a few days ago. JD Martinez battling a foot problem. Mariners have lost Mitch Haniger to a strained oblique tonight. Kyle Seager out with a hip problem. Swing and a miss. Had a lot of bite to that pitch. Nice strikeout there by Pazos. To the 8th we go. 10 runs the Mariners got to try to overcome in the last 2 innings. Baseball on Root Sports brought to you by Jack in the Box. Try the Double Jack Combo for $4.99 only at Jack in the Box. By CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. By Money Tree, proud to make a donation to Mariners Care for every Mariners win. And by BNSF Railway, sponsor of the BNSF Blast. That is a Thunderbird. It looks like the 57 edition, an absolute beauty at the Ford Museum. And then Bobby Unser used to drive this one. Indy 500 winner. Ford Museum. A lot of great stuff to look at. Mikey Matuk takes over in left field, and Machado, Dixon Machado at second base. Here's Mike Zunino.
Kyle Ryan on the mound for the Tigers. Fastball 90. Has a changeup and a curveball. Mix in a slider with it.
Mike looking for a base hit here. He is 2 for 13 on this road trip. They had an account here 3-0. Dyson to follow, and then Segura after him. Mariners had a 2-0 lead after a half inning of play. Tigers struck for a run in the first, 3 in the second, 4-2 lead. Took it to 7-2 after 4. Zunino swings through. Mariners put 2 up in the 5th. And then the home 5th happened. 13 batters to the plate, 9 runs on 8 hits, 26 minutes it took. Took its toll. And Zunino, leadoff walk. During the Mariners and Rock 98.7 for Flannel Night at Safeco Field. It's coming up Tuesday, May 16th when the Mariners host the A's. Special offers available. That includes a ticket and a retro Mariners flannel. For details, log on to mariners.com/flannel. Mariners blue and gold colors, the Sunday colors. These guys are, they're jumping the gun, huh? Come on. Here's Dyson. 0 for 3. Breaking ball missed. Well, we had that graphic about the Tigers bullpen. We're seeing it tonight.
Yeah.
And they catch a break because offense has exploded tonight. Got a 10-run lead.
Again, when you look at those numbers, the first thing that you know is they're having command issues. They're not able to throw strikes, not able to throw quality strikes, probably in a lot of bad counts for them, hitters counts, and they take advantage of it.
And this has been the case, I got to say, what, the last 4 or 5 years, right?
Well, these are, yes, you're right about the bullpen, yes. But it's also, when you're in one of these games, what you mentioned is 10, the manager does not want to see this. Back-to-back walks.
I mean,
Mariners will take it.
Absolutely. Yeah, we had that graphic up at one point. And game was out of hand. I'm thinking, how bad can it be? And now we're starting to get a little taste. It's a shame. Maybe the Mariners can, with a few outs to play with, make something happen. Rich Doobie, the pitching coach, well, another appearance.
Even at the start of the game today, you start looking at numbers, see what the Tigers are about and what's going on with them. And you mentioned they were in first place, and you're surprised to see numbers like this. And it's been a struggle. Look at that ERA over 6.5. The opponent's batting average, where their WHIP is at, OPS. I mean, those are tough numbers, and that tells you that they're just having a tough time commanding the strike zone.
And over the long haul, that is not going to help you. No way. First 2 men have reached via walk here. Now Segura. Call it a triumphant return. First pitch of the ball game, single to left. Homered in the fifth. Ahead in the count 2-0, and here's Segura ahead in the count 1-0. A lot of these Mariners on the ball club last year. Derisive cheers from the remaining crowd here at Comerica Park for a strike. A lot of guys in that dugout were part of the big comeback in San Diego last year. It was a 7th inning rally. Cheering foul balls. Good grief.
They understand the situation.
Oh, too well, don't they?
Yeah.
They've seen this movie and they want it sent back for redo. Ball 2 strikes to Segura. You got a piece of it. One-two pitch. Left field for Mikey Mata, former Ray. 1 out. Coming up tomorrow. Game 2 of this series. We get a look at Big Pax. James Paxton goes against Daniel Norris. Norris has faced the Mariners 3 times, no record. And then a matinee Thursday. Good matchup is Sashi Wakuma against Justin Verlander. Verlander, look at that ERA.
After a tough start.
Yeah, buddy. Iwakuma 1-1 against the Tigers in his career with a 3.86 ERA. Danny Valencia. Strike 1. Danny took over for Mitch Haniger, who had to leave the game with a strained oblique in the 3rd. And he's first at bat. Segura had homered. Next pitch, so did Danny. His first as a Mariner. Count at 1-1. There's a strike. On 2 strikes. Felix Hernandez bobblehead day coming up on the 6th of May. Texas will be in town. That'll be a 6:10 start at Safeco Field. Mariners will be home. Micah had just enough time to change that laundry, maybe get a couple steaks, maybe a round of golf, and then we're back on the road again.
Well, that sounds pretty good.
Takes outside, 2-2. Normally you're making hay with 6 runs on 13 hits, but the Mariners are down 10 here. 16 hits, 16 runs, 20 hits for Detroit. Popped it up. And that's a fair ball. Everybody up 90 feet. Bases loaded. That is a big-time break.
Base hit right down the line. Looks like he goes right off the end of his glove, and it does.
Couldn't have thrown it there any better. Base hit. Brings up Robbie Cano. Base hit to center field, 7th inning. 1 for 4. Normally, 14 hits. You're back in the Pacific Northwest. Feet up, feeling confident. Hey, honey, bring me another one. Tried to get the Mariners into double figures with that swing.
He did. He wanted to lose that fastball.
Yeah, he did. 0-1 here to Cano. One. Bases loaded, 1 out. Pitch to Cano. In tight. If he throws something over the plate, time to unleash. I think this guy's thinking about memories of San Diego last year. That might have been one of the best comebacks in any sport I've ever seen.
Oh, I would think so, yes. And he has a good count again. Another hitter's count for the Mariners. See if they can take advantage of it.
And Nelson Cruz, a hot hitter. He's on deck. Hits in his last 3 at bats. Driven in 3 runs. He's homered. (3-1) to Cano.
He got a fastball. Looked like it was in the middle of the plate. Might have been down a little bit. No, that's a good spot for him. Joe Jimenez getting loose in the pen for the Tigers.
Word is Jose Altuve says he's likely to play tomorrow after that collision we showed you earlier. 3-2 to Robbie. Time call. Both of these teams off yesterday. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Did he get enough? No, he didn't. Center fielder taking charge. Zanito tags and scores. Dyson tags, goes to third. RBI Cano is first of the night, 15th of the season. 2 outs.
And that will bring up Nelson Cruz. Nelson with a home run tonight. He's had a really good night. 3 for 3.
(16-7) with a couple of men on, 2 outs. Up high. Moving down to second. Valencia. Being difference. (1-0) to Nelly. Got under it. Fly ball to a deuce. Mariners get a run, leave a couple. Bottom 8 coming up. 16-7 Detroit. 16-7 Detroit. Mariners looking for 3 quick outs here and then take a long shot in the 9th. Scribner does work quickly. He does throw strikes.
8th appearance on the year, 6 strikeouts. Hasn't walked anybody in 6 1/3. Had the one bad outing, and early in the year when you're at 6 1/3, your ERA is going to be at 8.5.
This road trip will have 2 more games here in Detroit, 3 in Cleveland. Weather at the moment, the weather forecast is not good, but a week and change ago we were looking at Detroit and the weather forecast was lousy and it turned out to be fine. So hopefully we catch that same break.
John Hicks is going to lead things off for the Tigers. Pinch hit. Victor Martinez. Matuk, who came into the game in left field, will be on deck, and then Avila after that.
One-time Mariner John Hicks out of the University of Virginia Sunday against Minnesota. He had a heck of a day, going 3 for 5, 2 runs, drove in 5, had a 2-run homer in the first inning.
We'll see what he's done this season so far. 5 for 10 with that home run and 6 RBIs on the year.
Scribner's first pitch, swing on, foul back. A 1 pitch, swing and a miss. Breaking ball in the dirt.
They took a lot off the curveball, 72 miles an hour.
Seen him do that once or twice this year. Seen Kuma do it a bunch. John Hicks, 6 for 11 now.
Behind in the count, ends up getting a fastball. It's going to be on the outside corner. Didn't elevate it as much as Mike wanted it. Good piece of hitting.
The man aboard here, bottom of the 8th. Former Mariner John Hicks. Here's former Ray Mikey Matuk. All-American at LSU. A Rays first-round pick, 31st overall. Struggled the last 2 years. One pitch.
Pretty good slider from Evan.
Ball and 2 strikes. Ball back. Mikey out of Lafayette, Louisiana. Drills this deep to left. Gone. 2-run homer. 18-7. Mikey Matuk with a home run, his first of the season. 2nd and 3rd RBIs.
I think that was the slow curveball again. Evan probably wanted to bury it in the dirt. We'll take a look at it. Yeah, Mike looks like he's ready to block it. Instead, he leaves it in the middle of the plate.
4th home run by the Tigers tonight. And again, they scored 13 2 days ago. Beat Minnesota 13-4. Now it's Avila with one of the home runs. That was back in the 4th inning. Way out in front. That's ripped. Base hit. Three consecutive hits here in the 8th.
Mariners have not had too many easy innings tonight.
No, not even close. They've taken a run differential from -14 the Tigers down to -3 up to the moment. Jim Adducci, 2 hits tonight. That's hit hard and fair. Avila the 3rd. They'll get the stop sign there. Adducci a stand-up double. 4 consecutive hits. You're saying about hard hit balls?
Yeah, 2 for extra bases again. A lot of extra base hits in the game.
There's James McCann. He's driven in 3, a 2-run homer, bases loaded walk. He also has a single. There's a strike. Right down the pipe.
He's been able to work ahead of hitters for the most part. See if he can make a quality pitch right here. Maybe get a strikeout, help himself out. 18 pitches, 14 strikes in the inning.
Breaking ball hit foul. Here's a drive deep to left. Hooked it. .38 combined hits ties the America Park record. Record dating back to 2006. Other areas of concern, a quick recovery for Mitch Haniger. Felix Hernandez, a good bounce back in his next start. Ground ball to Segura. On plate yet another run. Fourth time Mariners have allowed 24 or more hits. Last time it happened at 22-10, 22-10. A loss at Boston. Felix got the start in that one. And that was the first out of the inning. Runner at second for Romine.
I think at this point for the guys to just have James Paxton come out tomorrow and be dominant as he has for the most part this year.
Certainly that was the path worked by Mr. Paxton in the home opener after Mariners gave up that 7th spot, bottom 9 in Anaheim a few weeks ago. Hanging up for Dyson. Runner tags in safely. Ducey at third.
Machado will get his second at bat.
Some gaudy box score the Tigers have put together here. Blocked by Zunino. There you have it. It's been the story here tonight. And they've left 11 on. Two-0 the count here.
Now Evans had to throw a lot of pitches in the inning. Next pitch will be 30 for him. 29 pitches, 20 strikes.
Three and one. It's stung, but it's going to hang up in the air for Dyson. As the Tigers add 3 more runs. It's 19-7 Detroit as we go to the top of the 9th. Yes, he did. Wow. Henson Tiger guy.
Yep.
He came in, got the glove and everything. It's a young guy we heard about a couple of years ago. Joe Jimenez.
Throws hard. Good fastball in the mid-90s. Just his 4th appearance on the year. 2 2/3, 3 strikeouts. Hasn't walked anybody.
Ball and 2 strikes to Taylor Motter, playing at third base. Kyle Seager, night off, hip issue. Hopefully he's back tomorrow or the next day. First inning RBI single for Taylor. Hit hard to right field. And negotiated out there by Jim Adducci. Nothing like hijinks in a 19-7 ball game.
They're getting along.
Here's Vogelback. 4th inning single to right. A lot of big numbers up on that scoreboard. One on one to count, 1 out.
Change up at 88.
Ball 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch. Bites it off. Mariners come home. You'll see the Angels, see the Texas Rangers again, 2nd time in about 3 weeks. Felix Hernandez bobblehead night on Saturday, May 6th.
Well, Daniel's still working hard, able to get the count back to 3-2.
Right at the center fielder, Collins, 2 away. There's Heredia. Last hope here for the Mariners. 2 out, 9th inning. Got 2 hits tonight.
Another good night for him. Trying to make the most of the opportunity of getting to play every day.
And that he is. Very nice job covering left field. A fine job out there.
2 hits, has his average right at 300.
Ball and a strike, too, Guillermo. 2 hits tonight, gives him 5 on a road trip. Two and one. Two out, nobody on here in the ninth. There's down to their last strike. Two. Full count. Here we go. 3-2, 2 out. Pitch to Heredia. Men left on base combined. These two teams. 3-2 pitch. Walked it. Two outs, runner on. Brings up Mike Zunino. Walked and scored his last time up. That was in the 8th.
Mike 0 for 2 tonight. He was also hit by a pitch.
One and 0 to Mike.
Difference for Heredia moving up to second. Twenty pitches, 10 strikes. It's been a bit of a theme tonight, hasn't it?
Oh, brutal. Two-0 pitch. 3-0 with a 19-7 lead. Wow, wasn't close. 2 out, 2 on via walks. And Brett Osmus has seen enough. You know, the adage of stick around long enough, you'll see something you hadn't seen before. I don't think I've seen a 19-7 lead in back-to-back walks, 2 outs in the 9th. Pitching change. Back with more in a moment. seconds, it's going to blow up. He's our fan of the night. The fiercest Mariner fan hanging into the very bitter end here in the 9th inning, down 19-7. Paxton and Norris, your pitching matchup tomorrow. And Big Pax looking for a rebound from his last start. Matinee coming up on Thursday. CenturyLink bringing you all this info. Sashi Iwakuma goes against Justin Verlander, off to shaky start for Verlander. Look at that ERA, 6.04. 11 walks. Blaine Hardy pitching to Gerard Dyson, and ball one.
4th appearance on the year, 2.70 ERA, 4 strikeouts, hasn't walked anybody. 3 in the 3rd. Good fastball at 90 miles an hour. It's in a slider curve change with it.
One pitch. Out back by Dyson. Two outs, runners at first and second. Blaine Hardy, 1-2. Line drive, base hit. They'll hold her ready. The Mariners have loaded the bases. 2 outs, top 9, down 19-7.
Good hitting by Dyson, able to stay in there on the breaking ball.
That was the 15th Mariner hit. Crazy numbers up on that board. 19 runs, 24 hits, 12 left by Detroit. Here's Segura, ball one. 7 runs, 15 hits, 9 left by the Mariners. Challenged him, beat him 1-1. Up the middle, finds it into center field. That'll pick up a couple of runs. How about this? Heredia scores, so does Zunino. A 3rd hit for Segura, his 3rd RBI.
And we'll take a look at it right back up the middle. Hardy not able to help himself by fielding his position. And with that base hit, there now have been 40 hits in the game.
That is really something. There's Danny Valencia, 19-9. 2 outs, 2 on.
Yeah, Danny with a couple of hits tonight, including his first home run as a Mariner.
Two and 0. Seriously, I don't remember ever been in blowout games, but to have this many guys have this much lack of command is remarkable. How about this? 3-0. You got Cano on deck. Danny, the 7th man to the plate here in the 9th inning. Ball 4. Wow. That is the 3rd 2-out walk in the inning, and the bases are loaded.
The second baseman, Robinson.
We were talking about it, Dave, when you are last in ERA, batting average against, OPS, all those things, it comes down to command. They have good arms out there, but they are just having a tough time throwing strikes.
8th man to the plate. And all of this happening with 2 outs. 19-9. those who remain voicing their thoughts on what has become a rarity, a strike thrown by somebody out of the Tiger bullpen. Robbie fouls one off. These teams have combined for, it's at 28 runs and 40 hits. And left 21. Holy, I told you it was a softball game back in the second inning. Makes the play, and that is the ball game. Mariners had a couple of runs. They lose this first game here in Detroit. It's their 5th consecutive loss here in Detroit, and this was one crazy game.
Well, it won't take the Mariners long to put this one behind them. It's just one of those games, and you got to forget about it. The good news for him, James Paxton will be on the mound tomorrow. Hopefully James has a good day and get this thing turned around on the mound for the Mariners.
3 hours and 43 minutes for this ball game. And Detroit wins it in a big, big way. Mariners postgame presented by Alaska Airlines starts right now with Angie and Bill.